Welcome to Ghost Stories.
Hi.
I am your host, Arthur Mansley, and as you've heard, my assistant Beth Oglesby is also here with me. Join us as we traverse across the continental United States, interviewing ghouls, ghosts, and goblins, and everything in between in an effort to bridge the gap between monstrosity and humanity and demystify the mystic.
Arthur, it's our last episode for a while. You should probably tell them why.
Dear audio listeners, I have some rather dire news.
It's fine. It's actually fine.
My licensing with the Bureau of Occult Orators, or BOO, as it were, is expiring. And as such, this will be our final recording here, pending the review of my license.
So hopefully we'll be back, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, everything should be squared away, but we shall see.
I did fill out the paperwork because you did not.
Thank you. You read your contract. You know your job as an intern.
I found page 17.
You found? Oh, see, I told you it existed. Anyways, on to our final interview for the season, as we should say.
Ooh, yeah.
Today we've traveled long and far to the wild, wild land of Orlando, Florida. We are parked here at SeaWorld with our first aquatic guest. Would you mind just introducing yourself? It's a brief. Who are you?
Well, hi, it's great to talk to you. My name is Centura. I am coming from you from a body of water.
Yes, we've got some very high-tech audio technology that's censoring out all the splishes and splashes, as you're very active here in the water.
Very, yes. It is such great technology. I am quite amazed.
So, tell me, Centura, you reside here in SeaWorld. Is this of your own choice, or are you a prisoner?
Unfortunately, not my own choice. I wouldn't put it as prisoner. Let's just say the body of water I was in before here was not my favorite.
Really? Tell me more about that. Which body of water is this, and why is it so unfavorable?
Well, it is close to here, the Gulf. It's full of bad memories for me. Before I was not alive anymore, I was caught.
Pardon me, I might have misheard. Not alive anymore.
Correct, yes.
You are dead.
Yeah, I mean, can't you tell?
I just assumed the rotting flesh was more of a fashion statement. Is this usual for a siren to be rotting and decaying?
Well, you didn't have to put it that way.
Yeah, Arthur.
That's very rude.
I apologize. This is something I've been working on.
Yeah.
It's a work in progress. But is this
complexion?
Complexion. This fashion statement typical of a siren?
Well, I guess if you put it that way, it is not very typical, unfortunately. I was sick one day, and I couldn't really sing or have my song as well as other days. I had a cold, and I went out with my sisters, and we were traveling, and we were trying to lure these sailors into the water. And one looked at me, and I've never been looked at before. He looked at me with disgust. I couldn't believe that he could actually see me, and it scared me so bad. I had to take a second look, and before I knew it, I had a stab wound.
Really? So you were trying to lure a sailor to his death, as sirens do, but he powered through your song to stab you.
I don't know how he did it. I still don't understand after all of these years. It's something that once I just woke up I felt like it was the next day, but it obviously wasn't. It was my doom. I didn't know what had happened until I looked down, and I just saw a hole in my chest.
Oh. Could you tell me more about when you woke up? Is this, I'm assuming being undead was not part of your plan for your future. So, when you saw this, what were your immediate thoughts?
I couldn't believe that it had happened. I didn't believe it did happen, honestly. I looked at myself and I didn't see myself. I saw somebody else. And I felt trapped.
Do you know how much time passed when you did wake up?
Well, when I woke up, I did find myself here in SeaWorld, and a kind lady on the shore side, she told me that it had been 3 years since she had seen me last.
Really? So you spent 3 years dead at SeaWorld before suddenly reanimating yourself?
I don't know if maybe we got stuck in like a translation period or something along that effect, because people that I had known before, when they had died, people I've seen died, they come back immediately.
Really? So coming back from the dead is not entirely untypical, but the fact that it took 3 years of purgatory, essentially, is unusual.
Yes, I don't know anybody who's ever have to go through such a rigorous journey to get back to where they were.
Really, it sounds terrifying. Could you tell me more about your prior to your undeath, your life? What did you do besides luring sailors to the demise with a song?
Well, every day I would wake up and I would go for a swim, and it was very peaceful, actually. I would just go by myself. I didn't really have many friends, but there was one day I came across somebody on the shore, and I watched them every day.
Really? Pardon my assumption, but is this like a stalker thing, or is it more like a bird-watching thing?
Well, now that you kind of put it that way, I guess I don't think a stalker, but I definitely enjoyed every day at 10 a.m. going to go watch them do whatever they did. They kept digging holes.
Digging holes? Was this on the beach?
Yes.
Every day at 10 a.m. digging holes? Now that does strike me as strange. Did you ever discover what they were doing there?
I didn't, but ever since that I've woken up 3 years later, I've wondered, how can I get back there?
Maybe that's what's tethering you to this state of eternal life, this unfinished business of discovering what is hidden on the beach that this individual is searching for.
Was there a reason that you didn't try to lure this person into the water?
I know what I do is wrong, but I couldn't put him through pain. He looked so peaceful up there.
When you do lure an individual into the water, what do you do? Besides drown them, do you play with the corpse? Do you eat them? Do you?
That is a weird question.
Well, I don't know.
Oh my goodness, that is just crazy that you would even say that. You have no knowledge of what a siren does then.
Well, that's why I'm interviewing you. This is a learning experience for me. I very rarely am able to delve into the aquatic environments. I'm unable to swim myself, so the SeaWorld interview is very convenient for me.
Yeah, we tried your swimming lessons last year. That didn't go too well.
The floaties did not fit right. Okay, I did not feel safe.
Okay.
Anyways, Centura, a siren, if you're not eating the corpse, what does a siren's diet consist of typically?
So typically we eat seaweed, we eat some rocks. Mm-hmm. Some rocks are better than others. If I get real desperate when no one's around, I'll just eat some of the clothes that come off in the water.
Really? So just like a random pair of swimming trunks floating by is an hors d'oeuvre waiting to be consumed?
Not by choice, but sometimes you have to survive.
Mm-hmm. How has pollution affected your environment?
Well, I was just thinking about this one time when I did eat a plastic bottle, and I really thought that I was a goner. I thought that I was going to die. Luckily, I don't know how, but I did survive. And then I kept seeing more and more plastic bottles.
Really? So it's a problem that's ever growing, the pollution of your home?
Well, not my home anymore. My home is now, unfortunately, SeaWorld, where there is no plastic. But
well, that's a positive.
There's a lot of other fish. So when I do get hungry, sometimes that's what I eat.
Really? So your change of environment has forced a change of diet?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Unfortunately. So this is not a change you like. You would prefer to be eating seaweed and rocks versus fresh fish?
Yes.
Very, very interesting. I would believe that fish would be more calorically dense than a rock. But
Well, technically, I am a fish myself, so I don't condone eating any other kind of
right,
fish.
it's more an ethical issue. I see. My apologies for implying that you're a filthy cannibal.
Whoa.
Well, I'm not saying that she is. I'm saying I might
It
have
really
implied it, and
sounded
I'm
like you
apologizing for
did.
it.
I have a question. So you mentioned your sisters before. How's that relation? I mean, well, prior. How was that relationship? Did you get along? Typical sibling, I don't know, rivalries?
Well, I was the youngest, unfortunately, of 8 other sisters. Our parents were nowhere to be found. They left us at birth. And my oldest sister, she hated me. She was almost envious of me. She wanted all of the sailors for herself. And I never let her.
So you were claiming all of the sailors for your own?
Yes, I would lead our daily swims.
Really? Such a skilled siren as yourself. Do you believe that's what led to you being targeted by this individual who trounced your song?
I wouldn't say it was an individual. I do get seasonal allergies. It's kind of a flaw of mine. And this year, I knew I didn't want to let my older sister take over on those days that I wasn't feeling good. So I decided to go out. And I had a cough and a sore throat, but I wasn't going to let it stop me this time. And ultimately, that was my doom, that my pride took over. I didn't want to see my sister succeed.
Really? Wow. That's a tragic and heartbreaking story. And now, since you tried to fight through this cough, you now are cursed with rotting flesh and, well...
Arthur!
Well, I'm just stating what I see.
Arthur!
He is right.
See, Beth, I am right.
Yeah, but did you not listen to the talk that we had just minutes ago?
Look, sometimes I forget things.
Continue, please.
So since I'm at SeaWorld now, there is no other competition. I get to do whatever I want.
Wait,
Continue, Beth.
does that mean that you're drowning people at SeaWorld?
No, unfortunately, with the death, I have lost my voice forever, so it seems. I'm not sure if I'll ever regain my voice.
Really? So you're a songless siren? A siren without a song? That's like a cat without a meow. Does this leave you feeling less whole as a person?
That's a leading question.
Well, that's why my license is under review, Beth.
Okay.
Although it's sad to not have a song as a siren. There are no other sirens here. I'm the only one. I do wonder what my sisters are doing now, though.
Do you have, now that you've lost your song and your, what used to be your calling in life, your purpose of singing sailors to their doom, what are your current life goals? Have they shifted?
Yes, actually, they have. Now, instead of taking a swim every morning, I look forward to seeing the dolphins every morning in the water. I never saw them before.
Really? Did the dolphins avoid the sirens?
I wouldn't know because I've never seen them before. I heard somebody calling them dolphins, so I assumed that's what they were.
Right.
And they're very pretty and they're very intelligent. They do talk to me.
Really? I not had the opportunity to interview a dolphin. What do they say? What do they talk about? What's on a dolphin's mind?
Well, mostly it's about food and fish. But I did get the tea about the people from the surface.
Wait, the tea of the surface people?
It's a phrase.
It's a phrase.
It's a phrase. It means like the gossip.
Oh, so they're not sharing a beverage?
No, it's
fermented
not.
leaf.
It's not British tea time. No.
Oh, okay. So you're getting this gossip? Is it?
Gossip.
Yes,
time.
You're
gossip.
getting this gossip
Information.
of the surface. What kind of gossip could dolphins have about the surface world?
I hear them talking about the big ocean, about how they're planning to let all the animals back out.
Wait, there's a breakout being planned
Yes.
by the dolphins here at SeaWorld.
Not the dolphins, the people.
Oh, the people are breaking out the animals.
Yes, they want to let all the animals go.
Oh, Well, that seems like a noble pursuit.
And I'm really hoping that I'll get to see my sisters again.
You haven't seen them since your unfortunate demise.
Yes, and maybe the man digging holes will still be there.
See, it seems like a story of love yet to be found. I've read my share of romance novels. This is typically how it goes.
Yeah, not for you though.
What? That's a low blow, Beth.
Centura, you were talking about your parents leaving you when you were a child. Not to bring up bad memories, but is there some sort of training program for sirens? Like if your parents aren't there to teach you how to siren, is there a training?
Siren school.
Siren school?
So every siren gets left at birth. It's a
cool.
rite of passage
Wonderful.
to teach yourself all the ways of being a siren. We teach each other.
Okay. Do you have a particular technique that you enjoy?
So when I was training my sisters on how to be the best siren other than me, or my oldest sister, she always got angry. But I really like to show them the way of swimming up to the surface and then getting back down as far as possible, quickest as possible.
Do you do like a little peek or?
It's I like to call it a twist dive.
A twist dive. And you're very fast at this. You're very adept at a twist dive.
Yes, I actually hold the record for
Really?
the quickest siren to get to the bottom of the ocean.
The bottom of the entire ocean.
Of the Gulf.
Of the Gulf of
Yes.
Mexico.
Yes, I haven't been to another ocean yet, other than here at SeaWorld, but it's very tight and small.
SeaWorld is its own kind of ocean, I would think. Right.
I have, yep.
Yes, Beth agrees with me.
I don't have a lot of details on the chemicals they use.
Is this something you competed in as sirens, or is this just something like a personal record you tracked?
Well, we competed against each other, my sisters, and with me being the fastest, I quickly became the leader, and everybody was very envious.
So you're the quickest, you're the best singer, you were the youngest.
Was the best singer.
But now that you've died and your sisters are somewhere without you, do you worry about their survival and safety without your guidance?
Kind of, but not really. We're all taught to be on our own. We're supposed to be on our own. We did break the rules and sticking together.
Really? So typically sirens split off on their own, but you stayed together as a coven of sorts.
Yes, we felt as though with us being together, we were more likely to get more sailors.
And did you find this to be true?
Yes, we would all tag team. We'd go on each side of boats and different ships, and we were able to get every single one off.
Really? And how many ships did you clear in such a devious manner?
Oh, definitely too many to count.
Oh my. You wouldn't have happened to venture into like the Bermuda area. There's like a certain triangle I've heard tales of.
We might have, but we pretty much stick to our main location. Yes.
How long have you been doing this?
Too many years to count, ever since I was born, obviously. But
Which was when? Like, what is the lifespan of a siren? Are we talking tens of years, dozens of years, hundreds, thousands?
thousands of years.
Thousands of years? Really?
Yes.
And approximately how old were you when you perished?
About, I want to say my last birthday was 4,567 years ago.
Holy mackerel. If you pardon my fish pun, that is... You are much older than you give way. That is...
That's the joy of being a siren.
Really, I can see it now, and I can understand the temptation from sailors. Well, anyways, we are nearing the...
I'm so concerned.
Worry not, Beth. This is all under control.
There's a reason that your license is pending review.
I am a professional, and I don't appreciate your...
If you say professional, I'm gonna...
You guys are arguing. I'm getting exactly what I want.
Anyways, moving on to the final portion of our interview here. This is the question I present to everybody I interview, and I present it here to you now. I'm going to present you a soapbox to I guess you can't really stand, to lie upon and address the youth of America. You can say whatever you want. What would you like to say to the youth of America?
To the youth of America. That's a lot of pressure. But swim, don't sink.
Swim, don't sink. Really? I feel like I've seen that on like a sailor's anchor tattoo on his arm before. Really?
How many sailors do you know?
I've been to my share of sailor bars. Beth, I'm very old.
Were you invited?
Anyways, moving on. Thank you for your time here, Centura. You have been a wonderful guest. A very interesting look into the aquatic cryptid world. Anyways, we are going to be signing off here, our last episode of Ghost Stories for this season, pending the review of my Boo license. But thank you, dear viewers and listeners. This has been Arthur Quiche Mansley.
And Beth.
And Beth Oglesby. Thank you and good night.